What's up, Kansas City Northland family? Have you ever dreamt of buying a home with literally $0 down? It sounds like a late night infomercial, am I right? But here is the absolute plot twist. This isn't just a myth. Today, I'm breaking down how you might be able to score that no money down deal without diving into anything sketchy, I promise. Now, if you're really ready to find out if it's really possible up here in the Kansas City Northland area, stick around. I've got everything you possibly need to know. And if you're wondering, well, who the heck is this guy and why should I listen to you? I'm Big Mike. Find me on Google, find me on Instagram. I am a Kansas City Northland real estate agent. I specialize here just in everything that you could even possibly imagine with Northland, from buying, selling, investing, you name it. I have educated myself to be one of the very best. And you can find the reviews everywhere your heart desires. The reviews speak for themselves. Now, there's going to be a lot of things on this program. Some programs you may be able to be qualified for, some you are not. Now, 0% down is definitely a play on words. Doesn't mean you walk into a house with just nothing. I don't care if you're a veteran. I don't care if you're USDA. I don't care if you're the MHDC. I do not care what kind of situation you're in. There's going to be a little bit of money exchanged. It's pretty unrealistic just to walk into a house with absolutely nothing coming out. There are closing costs. There are general inspection fees. There are appraisal fees. There are going to be fees, but you may be able to get 100% financing on your actual mortgage, and that's whenever we talk about zero down options, that's the main part. So without further ado, let's dive on in. Now, what does $0 down actually mean? So essentially, you're financing 100% of the home's purchase price. So you're not forking over that typical 3.5% to 20% chunk of cash at closing. It's like when you see buy now, pay later deals, great for your wallet up front, but it still comes with responsibilities on the back end. Now, in the mortgage world, a $0 down loan usually happens through specific programs like USDA, VA, or certain state-backed initiatives, in this case, the MHDC. They're designed to help people who might not have a pile of cash saved up but still want the stability and equity-building perks of homeownership. Now, however, no down payment doesn't mean no costs at all. You might still be paying closing fees, inspections, or other out-of-pocket expenses. $0 down just covers the principal financing. So if you walk in thinking you won't spend a dime, you might want to adjust your expectations a bit. Still, it's a massive help for folks just who can't drop a hefty down payment but have the monthly income to handle a mortgage, especially if you have rent. Most of the time, a mortgage just makes sense. Now, one of the programs I spoke about is the USDA loan. It's aimed at the more rural communities, and if you're looking to live close to the city, this does not apply. Parts of the Kansas City Northland can qualify, especially in zones with like lower population density. The idea is to boost home ownership in the more rural communities, but the definition of rural might surprise you, so definitely double check those boundary steps. The things that you can definitely qualify for: Excelsior Springs, Kearney, Smithville, Platte City. It's whenever you start to go more south from the more countryside of the Kansas City Northland, those are whenever it gets a little bit more difficult to qualify. You probably won't be able to. There's actually a USDA.com you can check to see exactly where that program lasts. Now, it's not meant for everybody. There are certain income requirements. So if you make a certain amount of money, you do not qualify for it. So just to let you know. Next one is VA. And if you are a veteran, I know for a fact you've heard about the VA, but just in case you haven't, it's meant for active duty military or retired military and their eligible spouses. If you've served or your spouse is someone who did, you could snag a mortgage that doesn't require a down payment. Plus, often no private mortgage insurance, PMI, that's basically hitting the jackpot if you meet the criteria. Now, there are still going to be closing costs involved. So if you 0% down is just the basic principal payment. There's so many different things we could structure to almost get a zero. You could go ahead and ask the seller for seller pay closing costs. Realistically, you could get damn near $0. The expenses would definitely be inspections, appraisal, maybe a few $100. You could easily call me if you are a veteran of anything. Feel free to ask me a bunch of questions. I know the VA loans inside and out. USDA, I know, FHA, MHDC, you name it. There are other like state possibilities. I'm going to keep mentioning the MHDC. So the MHDC loan program is actually the best one Missouri has right now. You could walk into a 0% down option. You could walk into a 5% loan program. program. Now, you do have to make less than the median income for the area. In Clay and Platte County is about $103,000. So if your family that's applying for the loan is less than $103,000, you could qualify for that. Now, if you have a significant down payment, you could get 5% interest rate. If you have medium-sized down payment, you could go ahead and get like a 5.5% interest rate. It's actually the best loan program out there right now for everybody. I believe veterans should look into that. Even though the VA has been a phenomenal loan program, the MHDC, just nothing touches that, and most loan officers don't make a killing off of it, so they will not advertise it. So just reach out to me if you want to know more information. Now, there are some pros and cons to 0% down. So you do hang on to your savings, which is perfect if you're not rolling in this like in spare cash, which who now is nowadays. But you can get into a home faster, and if the market's hot, that could be an absolute game changer for you and your family. Plus, if you qualify for these programs, you might be able to bag a lower interest rate or avoid PMI altogether. And it sounds kind of crazy, am I right? Financing 100% of the mortgage does mean bigger monthly payments though, because you're borrowing more. Also, you'll start with zero equity. If the market dips, you risk going underwater on your loan, owing more than your home's worth. And sometimes these programs come with location or property type restrictions, which could limit your choices. So in short, $0 down is awesome if you're okay with higher monthly costs and you qualify for the right program, but just be sure to weigh the long-term financial impact. No one wants a mortgage payment that feels like a second rent bill with zero wiggle room. Am I right? So there are credit income requirements. I mentioned that before. If you've got $0 in savings, the lenders still want to see that you can handle monthly payments. That means credit scores absolutely matter a lot. For USDA or VA loans, you don't need a perfect 800, but a mid 600 or above definitely helps your case. The higher your score, the better your interest rate potential. Income requirements vary too. USDA loans, for instance, have household income caps, meaning if your combined income is too high, you might not be able to qualify. On the flip side, you also need enough consistent income to afford the mortgage. It's a balancing act, not too high, not too low, just right, like the Goldilocks zone of the real estate era. Now, if your credit or income isn't quite there yet, do not sweat it. You can easily make a plan. Pay down some debts, maybe just bump up your score a little bit. Apply for local programs that give you a leg up. Patience can pay off big time when it comes to nailing those dream lender conditions. If you're wondering, I don't even know where to start, reach out to me. I can forward you to my preferred lender, or you can choose any of them. Definitely talk about the MHDC loan program. I'm going to keep beating it upside everybody's head in here. It is a game changer, but it does have specific lending requirements. Just talk to a local lender about it. Now, some $0 down loan programs draw a line where you can buy. USDA loans, for example, target rural and semi-rural areas. Parts of the Northland qualify, but not all. The last thing you want is to fall in love with the house only to learn it's outside the USDA boundary. Always check those maps up front. Even with the Northland property type matters. Some loans might not allow manufactured homes or certain fixer-uppers. If you're dreaming of a charming old house that needs TLC, a strict $0 down loan program might raise some eyebrows. And if the property fails certain condition standards, well, good luck on trying to get it to close. So do your homework. If you're set on a particular neighborhood or property style, confirm it alongside with your loan guidelines. Ask your pre-approval. Like, your pre-approval will let you know. A quick chat with your lender, or just you could call me up. Once again, you could save a lot of heartbreak and a lot of wasted time if you just do due diligence up front. Now let's talk closing costs. Even with $0 down, you're not off the complete hook for a few things like appraisal fees, title insurance, or loan origination fees. These can add up to a few $1,000s. Sometimes the seller might be able to cover a portion, or you can roll certain costs into the loan, but you still need some cash on hand. After you move in, guess who's paying for that broken water heater or that unexpected property tax hike? You are. Having $0 down at closing is great, but you'll want an emergency fund for life's little curveballs. No one likes a welcome to your new home surprise that breaks the budget, so just be wary of that. Expect the unexpected. It's kind of like adopting a puppy. You don't pay up front for the puppy itself, but you'll pay for the vet bills, the food, and the occasional destroyed shoe, or in my case, slippers. Plan for these ongoing costs so the joy of homeownership isn't overshadowed by financial stress. Do your due diligence. Now, not all lenders offer these type of $0 down programs, so it pays to find one familiar with with the Northland's nuances specifically. A local lender usually knows the ins and outs of neighborhood boundaries, state grants, or city-specific programs that might slip under your radar. Some loan officers also offer a 0% down loan program if you use them, just to try to get you in the door. Normally comes with higher interest rates, but everything is up for negotiation. Some banks or credit unions have their own internal no-down promotions, just like I was mentioning, especially if they're community-focused. Keep your ear to the ground, or better yet, just pick up the phone and ask somebody, even if it's not me. Ask somebody that you trust. They might have limited time offers or targeted loans just for the first-time buyers in the region. The right lender can also connect you with zero down payment assistance if the zero down isn't an option for you. Even if you can't snag the full 100% financing, partial assistance might get you close enough that your out-of-pocket expense is absolutely minimum. It's still a huge win for you and your wallet. Now, the Northland's absolutely hot right now. So the rumors say that, at least. So low inventory plus strong demand can lead to bidding wars, and they're still happening up here, so be prepared. If you're going in with a $0 down offer, some sellers might side-eye you, worried about appraisal gaps or your level of seriousness. It's not fair, but it happens. That doesn't mean you're doomed, though. If you're well prepared, have solid financing, and a great lender who can assure the seller you're good for it, your offer can still stand out. Sometimes writing a personal note or being flexible with closing dates helps your cause. Ultimately, who you choose as an agent, how much of a go-getter they are, how hungry are they, how much can they actually help you, what kind of relationships do they have with some of the other agents. Ask those questions before you just hire any real estate agent. I get it. Your cousin or your aunt or your uncle or whatever the case may be, fill in the blank. They may be family to you, but are they the very best option for you and your family to get what you guys desire? Negotiating is my strongest suit. A poor negotiator is going to just cost you thousands of dollars, and if they just are undereducated, nothing against them, but there's so many different loan programs out there that you just need to educate yourself on then. Do the work or find someone that you know that has all the answers. Also, just keep an eye on interest rates. A higher rate can drive up your monthly mortgage payment, especially when financing 100%. If rates look like they're inclining up, you might lock in sooner rather than later. Chat with your lender about timing to sidestep any nasty surprises, and once again, just do your due diligence. So ultimately, just get pre-approved before shopping. Nothing kills the home buying process like falling for a house you can't actually buy. Plus, a strong pre-approval letter signals to sellers that you absolutely mean business. Be open-minded about location. If the property you adore isn't USDA eligible, consider a nearby area that is, or explore other loan options. If that's not negotiable, a slight shift in your target zone might unlock the $0 down dream that you're so excited for. Partner with a local real estate agent who's done this dance before. They'll know which neighborhoods typically qualify, how to craft an appealing offer, and how to just keep the entire process from feeling like a never-ending roller coaster ride full of surprises and hiccups along the way. So just be prepared. So is buying a home with $0 down in Kansas City Northland really possible? 100% yes. But you need the right loan program, the right property, and a heads up about those hidden costs. Hopefully you're feeling more confident, at least about tackling this home ownership path. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below or hit me up directly. I'd love to walk you through it. As always, Big Mike Sells KC. Find me on Google, find me on Instagram, find me anywhere. Reach out to me. I'd love to help you and your family make your next move. Put me to the test on anyone you may know. I'd love to just show you what I can do. But until next time, subscribe to the channel. I drop heat every single week. It'll educate you on everything happening in the Kansas City Northland area. But for now, I'm done. Peace.